very good evening and welcome to Prime TV News, coming to you live and direct from the Prime TV studios with me, Abrar Abid. Now, before we go into our stories in detail, let's take a look at our headlines. President calls on the public to plant a sapling and fulfill their responsibility. Prime Minister's attention is drawn to people's problems in Norelia. Priority is being given to rehabilitating drug addicts. Met Department forecasts lightning and strong winds with showers. Sudan's military council removed the defense minister and names a new intelligence head. In our lead story, a custom of tree planting has been added to this year's New Year customs. President Maithripala Sirisena joined in planting a sapling at the auspicious time of 11:17 a.m. It was held at the President's official residence. President Maithripala Sirisena has planted a sapling at the auspicious time of 11:17 a.m. this morning, complying with the new customs introduced for the Sinhala and Tamil New Year this year. President Sirisena urged all Sri Lankans to plant a sapling or a seed at the auspicious time to fulfill the individual responsible for the sake of the future generation and sustenance of environment. Accordingly, the people throughout the island joined in planting a sapling with keen enthusiasm. In more local news, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe is engaged in a tour of the Norelia area. Premier Wickremesinghe, who arrived at the Bamarakale Sri Mahavihara, paid a courtesy call on the chief incumbent, Venerable Mi Panave Sugatananda Thera. After engaging in religious observances, the Prime Minister received blessings for the new year. The Mahasangha chanted Pirith and invoked blessings on the Prime Minister and the country. The chief incumbent of the temple apprised the Prime Minister of the problems encountered by the people of Norelia. In more local news, Minister Thalata Atukorala has said that priority should be given to persons who are imprisoned due to being addicted to drugs. She said that more funds have been allocated from the budget in this respect. She also referred to a special program that has been planned for the rehabilitation of drug addicts. The minister said that the finance minister allocated a large sum for the Justice and Prisons Ministry. It is planned to soon commence the program for the rehabilitation of drug addicts at Vera Villa and Ambepussa. She said that they also planned after the new year to rehabilitate the drug addicts and enter them into the society. 6 persons have died and some others injured in several accidents that took place yesterday. The accidents had happened in the Ambampula, Bandaragama, Vilgamua, Ambalanthota, Point Pedro, Tambuttegama and Monoragale areas. In the meantime, DIG in charge of the Motor Traffic Division, Ajit Rohana, said that the number of accidents had risen. DIG Ajit Rohana said that they witnessed a high trend in accidents involving motorbikes yesterday. He called on the people to be cautious when travelling in three-wheelers and motorbikes. He called on the drivers to heed road regulations and also not to drive after consuming liquor. He said that special operations will be in place to detect drunk drivers and those driving at a high speed. 4 members of the same family have suffered injuries in an accident that happened this morning in the Kotagale area along the Hatton-Kandy Road. The three-wheeler in which they were travelling had veered off the road and toppled after crashing into a sand mound. It is reported that the accident happened as the driver had fallen asleep. The police are pursuing further investigations. In the meantime, drivers have been called upon to maintain some distance between vehicles when using the expressway. An accident had happened last night along the Southern Expressway when 9 vehicles collided with each other. Although no one was injured in this mishap, the vehicles were severely damaged. The accident had occurred between the Valipanna and Kurundagaha Hathapma interchanges. Heavy traffic congestion was reported following this accident. The relevant authorities have called on drivers to be cautious when using the expressways as the number of vehicles plying on the expressways was very high. 9 individuals have suffered injuries in a clash that erupted in Ransagoda South in Kamburupitiya. The clash had occurred at around 4:10 a.m. A van and a house near a gambling spot in the area had been set on fire. 2 women and 7 men who sustained injuries in this brawl have been hospitalized. The police said that they have been entered to the Matara and Kamburupitiya hospitals. The damage caused has not yet been estimated. The Kamburupitiya hospital are pursuing further investigations. Meanwhile, the Chief Nurses Training Officer of the Colombo National Hospital, Pushpa Ramyani Soiza, expressed views with respect to the patients admitted to the emergency treatment unit of the hospital. She expressed these views at the ITN's 7th hour program. The chief nurse said that when considering statistics, 413 were admitted to the hospital on the 13th and the 14th. They had sought treatment. In comparison to last year, it shows a 6% increase, but it is a decline with the daily arrival of normal patients. However, there are 203 warded patients. This is a 15% increase. But she said that violent incidents had declined by 35%. Accidents due to fireworks had risen to 6 in comparison to 1 last year. Local security sectors along with their Indian counterparts have joined hands to crack down on smuggling of drugs. 9 Iranians were taken into custody along with a haul of drugs in the Indian sea limits yesterday. The Indian police said that the quantity of heroin seized in the Indian sea limits yesterday was more than 100 kilograms. The Indian media reported that its value was over 5,000 million rupees. The Iranians who saw the Indian security forces had set alight the trawler in which they were traveling with the aim of destroying evidence. Indian media reported that Coast Guard authorities who took immediate action apprehended the suspects and seized the haul of heroin. In the meantime, another 9 Iranians who were transporting heroin in a trawler had been taken into custody on the 24th of last month in the Sri Lankan waters. The Navy and the police carried out this joint raid in the southern waters. They were successful in seizing 107 kilograms of heroin. The anointing of oil, the next tradition for the Sinhala and Tamil New Year, will take place on Wednesday, the 17th. The auspicious time for departing home to the workplace for the first time in the new year falls on Thursday, the 18th. Anointing of oil begins on Wednesday, the 17th of April at 7:40 a.m. while dressed in green and facing east, while placing margosa leaves on your head and kolon leaves at your feet. Leaving for professional occupations begins on Thursday, the 18th of April at 4:52 a.m. while dressed in green and consuming meals including milk rice and jaggery while facing east. In more local news, transport services are operative to cater to the needs of the people returning from their hometowns after celebrating the New Year. The Sri Lanka Transport has deployed additional buses for operation. Its chairman, Upali Marasinghe, expressing views in this respect, said that the Sri Lanka Transport Board is operating special services for the people who are returning from their hometowns after celebrating the New Year. All depots have been informed to operate maximum buses. In addition, officials from the main office of the central bus stand will be leaving for locations such as Hatton, Badulla, Kandy, Galle and Matara, where they expect large crowds, and if they think that there are buses at these depots, they will summon for more buses from Colombo. Minister Rajitha Senaratne has said that the colour symbols for solid and semi-solid food will be operative from the 1st of June. The Gazette notification with respect to the implementation of the colour symbols for solid and semi-solid food is scheduled to be issued in the near future. The Health Ministry has recently signed the Gazette notification. The colour symbol was due to be implemented from the 2nd of this month. However, it was postponed due to a delay in the translation of the Gazette notification. The Elephant Pass Sultan of the Manthai Salt Company is successfully reaching the 18,000 metric ton target this year. The Manthai Salt Company during the last 2 years had successfully met the annual targets of 18,000 metric tons each year. Harvesting is now in progress along with the dry climate conditions. Many employees are engaged in this task. The annual production along with the other sultans in the island is reported to be 160,000 metric tons. The target of the Manthai Salt Company is to meet the total salt requirement of the island by the year 2024. Chairman of the company, Amin, pointed out that the government has already planned to launch another sultan in Elephant Pass. Around 250 employees are working at the Elephant Pass Sultan. They said that they are extremely happy to serve in the sultan. In more local news, a Bakmaha festival organized by the Kilinochchi Defence Headquarters with the aim of strengthening national unity and reconciliation was held in Kilinochchi. Many programs were launched with the intention of consolidating reconciliation among communities. Traditional sports events and Sinhala and New Year traditions added colour to the festival. It was organized based on a concept of Commander of the Kilinochchi Defence Headquarters, Major General Vijitha Ravipriya. In the meantime, another New Year festival was held at the Kathankuri police station. It was organized by the Catholic and Islamic devotees. It was organized under the patronage of OIC Kasturiarachi. Several programs were launched with the desire of strengthening Sinhala and Tamil unity. In our weather update, the possibility for evening thunder showers is high over most parts of the island today. The Department of Meteorology said that showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in central, Sabaragamuwa, southern, Uva, northwestern and western provinces and in Anuradhapura districts after 2 p.m. The department forecast fairly heavy falls above 50 millimeters at some places in Sabaragamuwa, Central and Uva provinces and in the Gaul, Mathara and Kalutara districts. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. The public are requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning activity. On the apparent northward relative motion of the sun, it is going to be directly over the latitudes of Sri Lanka during the 5th to the 15th of April this year. The nearest areas of Sri Lanka over which the sun is overhead today were Suruville, Ariyale, Muhammale and Chempiampattu about 12:09 noon. Meanwhile, showers or thunder showers are also forecast to occur at several places in the sea areas of the coast extending from Puttalam to Pottuவில் via Colombo and Hampantutta. The Department of Meteorology said winds will be westerly to southwesterly in the sea area extending from Kankisanture to Mathara via Colombo, and winds will be southeasterly or variable in direction in the other sea areas around the island. Temporarily strong gusty winds and rough seas can be expected during thunder showers. And that is a wrap-up of Prime News today. Prime News returns tomorrow, and in the meantime, do visit our website www.itnnews.lk, your go-to source for the very latest news at home and overseas. For the Prime TV News team, I have been Abrar Abid. A very good evening and take care.